There are many ideas of Nevada, but rarely is Nevada known as the greatest expanse of public land in the United States. The amount of free space in the state is unmatched in scale and beauty. Unfortunately, certain lobbyist-backed politicians are pushing a barrage of bills that aim to take those lands into control of the state for the sole purpose of generating net revenue. They believe the agencies that currently manage our public land, such as the Forest Service and the BLM, aren't turning a profit on the land, thus wasting the resource. Yet the opposite is true. If the state government took control of the land, they will soon realize that they are unprepared to correctly manage the land, and then be forced to sell the land to rid them of the costly obligation. And this won't even be the first time. When Nevada first became a state, they were granted 4 million acres of school trust lands. Of that original 4 million acres, how much do you think Nevada still controls today? Half? Quarter? 10%? 2,900 acres. That is just 0.1%. That's not even a single percent. They basically sold it all. But the land was supposed to be used for the benefit of funding schools, right? Well, Nevada is currently ranked 50th in education. That is last place. They sold the land under the guise of helping education, yet helped benefit no one in the process except themselves. Literally. During the time that historian Robert E. Stewart referred to as one of enlightened self-interest, public officials in the Surveyor General would form a conspiracy to handpick lands. Senator Henry Dangberg fathered a bill that gave him several thousand acres. Senator Samuel Pierce augmented his 160-acre homestead through the purchase of 880 acres. One particular bill had 32 out of 60 legislators directly benefiting and receiving land. When discovered, the corruption in the Surveyor General's office was so bad that they actually amended the state constitution just to get rid of the position. That's the past. So what is happening today? Presently, there's an effort by a handful of people to demand more American public lands to be given to the state of Nevada. This report, prepared to justify the demand, raises serious questions. The report based Nevada's potential to generate net revenue by claiming Nevada to be economically similar to Idaho, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. Except, Idaho makes the majority of their money from timber, which Nevada doesn't have. Utah has coal, which is non-existent in Nevada. New Mexico pumps oil, and Nevada is one of the least oil-producing states. These resources simply do not exist in Nevada, and by including these other states, they only serve to inflate the average net revenue figure. The fourth state, Arizona, with regard to revenue potential, is the most analogous to Nevada, depending on the sale of high-value state trust land. The task force recommends Nevada would have a first-year sale of up to 30,000 acres. At $1,000 per acre, they hope to make $30 million. They estimate their land management cost at only $26.8 million, and at this 30,000 acre land sale will conveniently cover that expense. Except $26.8 million to manage 7.2 million acres is just not enough. A single wildfire could bankrupt the program. The Carpenter 1 fire on Mount Charleston cost $20.1 million to put out. That doesn't even factor in restoration costs, which are significant and at times can even exceed the costs of the suppression. Not restoring an area after a fire will lead to invasive weeds and flash flooding. Severe flash flooding caused by the Mount Charleston fire required a $3 million earth berm to be constructed. Invasive weeds, if not controlled, will lead to another fire in subsequent years. Nevada contains over half of the U.S. wild horse population. Keeping the herd at a manageable population is essential for land health. Previously, when Story County faced a wild horse problem, they formed a joint management agreement with the state, only to have Nevada back out of the agreement soon after. Will Nevada back out of the responsibilities of wild horse management again? You just cannot compare states that have established state trust land programs to Nevada that unfortunately destroyed that program years ago. Nevada has underestimated the costs and overestimated the profits. And when things start heading downhill, and with no general fund to back them up, they will turn to selling more land and slashing budgets for the actual land management. Nevada is not taking our environment into consideration, even going so far as to say a state-level environmental protection process is unnecessary. Who would benefit from that? Nevada's public lands are American public lands, protected not just for Nevadans, but for all Americans in the present and the future. Turning over America's public lands to the state of Nevada is not a good bet.